tide of war has turned. The Axis is on the run. An animal is always most dangerous when it's cornered.
Unser Sieg ist zum Greifen nahe.
And the Reich is baring its teeth.
Heil Hitler!
Heil Hitler!
They killed the whole town, all thanks to a bastard named Mola.
Operation Kraken could win the Nazis the war. And every second we waste following protocol helps the enemy.
You are a dead man.
We've done our job and paid the price.
I'm coming for Operation Kraken, and for you.
Meine Kraken aus dem Ozean erheben und Zerstörung.
But let's start from the beginning. Days and weeks kept on going by as usual. The work was in full swing. We were building, sewing, managing workshops, and paying salaries. But the city was growing, and we would often find ourselves running out of gold. As it turned out, the idea of saving money on buying flour was not that great after all. Some of us were driven to despair by guilt. Others tried to atone for their sins. But the workers couldn't care less about our efforts. Luckily, there are other law and order methods out there, and people like them. Finally, everyone could relax, even though some took relaxation to an entirely new level. Unfortunately, not all wives are as understanding as they should be. And everything would have worked out all right had not the deceased turned out to be a third cousin of the neighboring king's sister-in-law's brother. So, here we are.
This is Xenozoic, a strange punk fantasy world with even stranger inhabitants. In the chaotic society they live, Pseudo, a martial artist forsaken by his master, has chosen to live as a recluse. Your adventure starts when he wakes up and hears mysterious music, which guides him to the boy, an orphaned creature whose incredible powers have attracted the attention of Gemini, the dying mistress of the artifacts. Unable to leave the boy to face this threat alone, Pseudo decides to protect him, unaware that much larger forces are at play. Chased by the servants and mercenaries working for Gemini, you must use your fists and your mastery of various martial arts, which can be freely alternated between based on the enemies you face and your preferences. You learn new techniques and improve your attacks as you progress and build your own fighting style. One law reigns in Xenozoic, the ritual. If you wish, you can challenge enemies to this dice game before a fight begins to determine the rules of combat. The winner applies the effect of an artifact onto the opponent, which can include fighting in a cloud of fog or having a chain limit their movements. Far from determining the winner or loser, these rule changes present an opportunity to be exploited if you win the ritual, or a challenge to be overcome if you lose. Outside of combat, you'll wander this intriguing world, seeking out its paths, secrets, and shortcuts. You'll meet strange characters, collect artifacts and items that can be used to craft weird objects that will aid your journey. And at night, Pseudo's dreams are so vivid that they take on a life of their own. You wake up with a distorted visage in a dreamlike Xenozoic, where new areas become accessible and dark creatures emerge. Inspired by surrealism and punk fantasy stories, Clash, Artifacts of Chaos promises to be an indie action adventure like you have never seen or experienced before.
Everybody, welcome to a new Commanding Nations devlog. In today's video, we're going to actually do something cool. This is a multiplayer match which we're showing off, and I want to warn everybody, there's a ton of bugs, a ton of stuff is still not finished. That's why I got this huge alpha footage on top of the screen. Keep that in mind before judging, but I still love to hear your comments or your opinions. Make sure to let us know what you think about the game. Now, as you can see, base building works. Now, we're missing a few animations, like the buildings suddenly pop up. If you look at the War Factory building, we can see that the windows, some of them are yellow. They're eventually gonna be emissive windows that give light, but for now they're gonna be yellow till we fix the whole lighting system in the game. We have a few smoke particles going on. They will be influenced by wind and better effects later down the road. And as you can see, the tanks are gonna roll out and they're gonna be bringing destruction to your opponents, as I like to say it. Now, we can see that the black market is generating money every few seconds, and these are the details that the dev team has been working on for the past months. Now, keep in mind that the pathfinding system still needs optimization. We're still trying to find the perfect balance between performance and gameplay, so that's something that we're going to work on. Now, this is one of the maps which is pretty playable at the moment, but we are still adding a ton of details. We need to add the villages, we need to add the rebel systems, the birds. They're all getting added to the game, and the workers that you're seeing there are not the final workers, of course. We still need to update those. So that's all I got to share regarding the whole base building aspect. And something to also keep in mind, you will see it in the next update. Right now buildings are placed and they're just literally placed on the terrain, and in the next update you will see that they will affect the terrain, and underneath the buildings there will be decals that kind of show the path that the units have been taking, or where they have been going to. I will show you an example right now. So this is how it's going to look regarding their ground, or the ground on which the buildings are built on. Let's take a look at a battle. We got James going against Tristan. Now, we are missing a ton of effects and details, but as you can see, those units are going to keep fighting. We can still do our own thing, and some units fire at the same time. That's something that we need to fix and work on. We believe that that kind of messes up the immersion, that some of them fire precisely at the same time, but more on that later. We also got the resource collection center right there, where you can collect resources. And we also need to implement refill centers, so safe zones. We can see some soldiers coming in from the left side. They're currently going through through the mountains, but the collision system will be improved. Some collisions will be turned on, and basically the base is working. So we are pretty confident that we're gonna hit our January early access target, and we are gonna be using all the upcoming months till January to fix the netcode to get the game playable. Right now we are connecting through IP, but January, when you can get to play the game, you will basically be able to just jump in and invite a friend and play through Steam. Now we can see that we have built more tanks, and Tristan is sending them all over, and the battle is kind of taking mid-place. Now keep in mind, this is not how the final battles are going to look like. There's going to be a lot going on in the game. Like right now, we don't even have bases collecting resources. We're just honestly testing how all these tanks fighting each other is going to look like, and they're both spamming the same tanks. Eventually you will have, of course, well, you can even do right now, you will have the option to build different kind of tanks, as you can see here in the left bottom. But we're also overhauling the whole UI element. It needs to look better. It needs to look crispier. The units are a bit too small right now to kind of show what they are and what they can do. There are going to be overlays that kind of describe the units and their strengths and weaknesses and ammos, which you can keep in mind. But for now, we can see that we got these battles going on, that you can kind of spam as many units as you want without suffering any frame rate issues or whatever. Now, also the destructions, they're going to be much cooler, we promise. And we're still working on the game. We really wanted to show you guys a bit of what was going on. And in the next updates, which we have planned for the upcoming weeks, actually, we're going to be doing weekly updates. We're going to show the units and what they can do, because we have a ton of units in the game, and they're not all just going to shoot simple bullets and leave it at that. Each unit will have its strength and weaknesses, which you can use to your advantage. Now, right now, as you can see, both sides are going straight through the map, through the middle, and this is the place where there are going to be city centers, there are going to be rebellions, and the rebellions, or the rebels, should I call them, they will attack both sides. And the more the game goes on, the more agitated that the civilians of this place will become, and they kind of will block the easy routes to your opponents. So rushing to the enemy base or going straight to the middle, those will be things that you have to think about. So you have to maybe go through the top side or the bottom side, which kind of makes the distance that you travel longer. Now, once again, we're going to talk more about gameplay later down the road. This is what we got for you for now, and we hope to talk to you soon. So once again, make sure to join our Discord, follow us on YouTube, and if you have any questions, just let us know. See you soon. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to see you on our Kickstarter, which is launching on November 30 November, should I say. So once again, thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.
This is Hardspace Shipbreaker, a space sandbox salvaging game where you'll experience the daily life of a spaceship salvager in an immersive and grounded industrial sci-fi future. Discover what it means to be a zero-G shipbreaker and become a cut above the rest. You apply for a job with Lynx Corporation in the hopes of finding a better existence, living and working amongst the stars. After signing on the dotted line, Lynx whisks you off into space and saddles you with a massive debt for the trouble. You'll need to earn credits by salvaging spaceships in order to regain your freedom. Shipbreaker is all about strategic dismantling. Your main goal is to carefully salvage the valuables of each ship while keeping a close eye on the many hazards and dangers that await you inside. One accidental cut could mean the destruction of the entire ship, and you along with it. Before entering, use your scanner to reveal key structural points, valuable objects, materials, and atmospheric room conditions, as well as potential hazards. The grapple tool is perfect for snagging small items like antennas or moving heavy metal panels. You can also use it to pull yourself towards massive objects or push yourself away from danger. The cutter tool has two swappable tool heads. The stinger head mount can be used to make precise incisions to key structural points, while the split saw head mount makes wide, sweeping cuts and can sever larger objects. If you pierce a hole in a pressurized room or accidentally clip the edge of a fuel pipe, the ship you're salvaging can quickly turn into a deadly metal coffin. Every ship is different, but their dangers are the same. Pressurized spaces, when exposed to a vacuum, experience a decompression event as the oxygen rushes to escape. If you don't grab onto something fast, you'll be forced out into space too. Fuel and coolant pipes, as well as electrical lines, run throughout each ship, with potential for devastating chain reactions. Fuel lines can leak and spill out into space, ready to ignite at any moment. The hard and most valuable part of every ship is the reactor. The moment you pull a reactor from its coolant casing, it begins to melt down. Failing to safely deposit a live reactor before it melts down may obliterate everything within its range, but succeeding will make you rich, or at least less poor. Each shift begins and ends in your hab, your personal habitation pod. Here you can upgrade and repair your tools and gear, review your found audio logs and data drives, as well as select ships to work on in the salvage bay. The key to earning those credits to pay off your debt to Lynx is by completing work orders. These also help you earn certification levels for better tools and upgrades, while unlocking bigger, more dangerous, and more valuable ships to salvage. Throughout early access, we're looking forward to working together with the community as we regularly add new features and develop additional content like new ships, new tools, new hazards, new game modes, new challenges, and more. If you'd like to find out more about Hardspace Shipbreaker, join us on our official Discord channel and wishlist Hardspace Shipbreaker on Steam.
I have met him doing my camp patrol near the North Rope Gate. He just came at us like a raging bull. First he knocked my friend with a shield. I managed to draw my sword, but...
Little man with funny hair, eye angry. Little man too fast. Quick shiny stick in it.
Many undefeated warriors have I redeemed to dread of another Greek sword-bearer. My pride was my doom, as I have never witnessed so smart, deft, and cunning warrior. This is how we fought, and this is how we died. Only the dead can share the untold legends of Achilles.